Alright, so we're going to do 1.7, chapter 1.7. We're going to talk about dividing rational numbers, and rational numbers can also be in decimal form. So we're going to talk about dividing rationals in decimal form. So we're going to fast forward through some of the stuff we've done already, and we're going to say I'm dividing this is my, oops, hang on one second. That's better. Alright, we're going to divide 1.665. I'm going to get some space here as well. Let's see if I can get some space. Move this guy up a little bit and just get some space. 1.665 divided by negative 3.7. Well, if we go a long division, I guess number one, I suppose 1.665 divided by negative 3.7. All right, well, I'm going to rewrite this in terms of, because this number out here should be a whole number, should have no decimal places. So we're going to multiply by 10 here. We're going to also multiply by 10 inside, because we can do that. We can also call it 16.65 divided by 37. That's essentially what we're going to do. We just multiply this number by 10, we multiply that number by 10, and it's the same idea. Multiplying by 10 over 10 is the same as multiplying by 1. So now I've got 16.65. I'll choose a different color. Divided by 37. We'll take a look at the negative sign in just a second. So we're gonna let's see. We're gonna take a look at this and say 16 divided by 37, about half, a little bit less than half. So you know what? I'm gonna say that maybe this is gonna be, well, we put a 0 here because 37 goes into 1 0 times, but because it's a leading 0, we don't put it there. 37 goes into 16 0 times as well. So we could put a 0 there just because the decimal point goes right here. The decimal point on the answer is right above the decimal point for the number that's in here, inside the house. Now 37 goes into 166. How many times? I'm going to guess about 4, because 4 times 30 would be 120. 5 times 30 would be 150. So maybe it would be pretty close to this. 4 times 40, if we estimated this as 40, would be 160. So let's see if we can get that as a close answer. 4 times 37. 4 times 7, 28. Carry the 2. 4 times 3 is 12, 13, 14 that are left over from our previous 4 times 7 multiplication. And now we subtract. 16 minus 8 is 8. We've borrowed a 1 from this 6 to make this 16. This becomes 5. 5 minus 4, 1. Bring down the 5. We're doing long division here. 37 into 185. Well, it's probably not going to be 4. 5, 6 might be a little bit too much. Let's try 5. 5 times 37 is 35. Or sorry, 5 times 7, 35. Carry the 3. 5 times 3, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 right there. And sure enough, we got 0 remainder. There's our answer. 0.45. And because we got positive divided by negative, it should be a negative. We're all set. All right. If we wanted to, let's see, this one talks about the nearest hundredth, rounding to the nearest hundredth. You know what, I'm going to pull out the calculator, because that's, the long division is on the left, long division on the right. Might get a little tedious, we don't have a whole lot of space. So my answer, 3.47, I'm going to pull out the calculator, divided by 1.9 equals, if I get a number, I've got, oops, hang on a second, I don't know what that's doing there. Much better. All right, my answer, if we're dividing this, would be negative, and I've got a whole lot of room, or sorry, a whole lot of decimals here, but I've got negative 1.826315 dot dot dot, a whole lot of stuff that might be really long to be long division. But if we're going to round to the nearest hundredth, we got to remember what the hundredths are. If we're going to round to the hundredths, here's our tenths. Here's our hundredths. So we're going to round to that number, and that number gets rounded up if this next number is 5 or greater. This is a 6, so that's telling us we got more than halfway to this next spot, so we're going to round that to the next number that's up, next highest number. We got almost 1 point. We got more than halfway to that 3, so we're going to give you credit for getting there. So 1.83 would be rounded to the nearest hundredth. This is the tenth, this is the hundredth, this is the thousandths, this is the 10,000ths place. So keep in mind those are the tenths and the hundredth spot. We're going to round here. 1.83 is our answer. We've rounded to the hundredths.